Hello, 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 and welcome to Bemis Crafty Corner. I am Bima, better known as Els, and that, right there, that's Harry. He's in a mood. Yeah. He's like, Mama. He's very much in a mommy mood.
Hi, this is Mike with Cox Business Support, calling on a recorded line.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch
What are you doing?
Well on the way in.
Let's talk about it. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're just over here being a pain in the butt, aren't you?
Oh, thank you, Paul. I really appreciate that.
You're just being a pain in the butt. You need to get down, though.
The ticket number I'm
Off you go. All righty. So tonight, we're going to be working in our idea books.
Well, here's the ticket number.
Let me grab mine.
2025
Get this out of the way for a second. So,
19210.
we put all kinds of pockets and embellishments and things like that in here, and journaling cards and tags and all that kind of stuff. And there's paper clips in here.
1877.
We got paper clips up here, and we have these little foldy things that have all these different pockets in them. It's got a lot of pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. That's a lot of pockets, Dang. All right, so we have all this stuff. And so one of the things that we don't have in here is like some charms and stuff. So I thought we'd do some of those. So the easiest one I know, because it takes the smallest amount of supplies,
this is your Verizon ticket you sent us. Looks like
is a paperclip dangle. Hello, Miss Gypsy.
Kroger Company.
So, excuse me, he wants treats. I know, because he's over here slapping the treat bucket. Give me some treats, fat lady. Okay. So this one, all you are some paper clips.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Some charms. And some jump rings. Need some of those. Let me grab some. Some jump rings. And some pliers. So I have my pliers. I have some jump rings. I have some beads, some charms, and I need paper clips.
What's the code for?
Hi, Miss Mari. All right, so this is these are paper clips. These are the large size, the jumbo size ones. That's really what you want for this. Now, if you have some of these, the colored ones, you can certainly use them.
Interesting. Okay. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much.
They are.
I really appreciate this.
I think this is like $2 at Walmart.
Have a fantastic evening.
And we're going to go in here, and I'm just going to grab a couple of charms. So it's Halloween, so let's do a bat.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And maybe a pumpkin. Yeah? Let's do a pumpkin. Pumpkin. And let's see what else. Do something normal. We'll do a heart. That'll be a normal. $62? All right. I think I'm going to want some smaller jump rings. We have just big ones in here? Yeah, these are all just big ones. Because those are the ones that I use when I'm making dangles, Let me grab some smaller ones here.
Hi, this is Mike with Cox Business Support, calling on a recorded line. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
There we go. smaller ones. Small.
How's it going, Mary? All right.
Right.
I
That
have
all out of
your
my way.
internal ticket number.
Now,
2025
technically, what all you really need for this is one pair of pliers.
019210.
Now, these are my jewelry pliers, and these are from Cousin, and they are
Well, I'm
ergonomic.
with Cox. This is a ticket
So
you
I'm gonna
guys
go ahead and
just
get this
opened
out of
up
the
with
way.
us.
Whew. So these are just round barrels. That's kind of, all you need for this. And
Well, I'm hoping you might be able to take a look at this and give me some information.
I don't
because
like
I
these
can't reach
paper
our
clips,
equipment
and I'll tell you why.
Yet this
I don't
looks
like them
an
because when you-
automated ticket,
because they're
like it was
springs.
created by an AI
And when
or
you
something and not really
Put something in them, you end up with these
very
two
detail
pieces
oriented.
pointed at your paper.
Um,
And
I
then if you
wanted
try to
to
pull them
confirm
off,
a
you can
local
get it
contact if we have
caught
to
on there and it'll
dispatch.
rip.
I
But for
wanted to
this,
verify
kind of
if
the only
layer
thing you
one
can
has
use.
been checked on our equipment because I am not unable to reach our
So-
equipment. I know it says
I'm going to decide
P&E
how big I
verified
want
on
my
site.
circle to be here.
Great.
And
It's
I'm
a
not going to
grocery
remove these
store.
pliers.
So the whole grocery store has power. Wonderful. But does the equipment have power?
Okay? I don't want to raise this up in any way. I just want it to be, and then I'm going to do the other side as well. And there's my spot. Hey, man, come here. So you end up with a paper clip that looks like this. And that's pretty much the whole thing. The only other thing you're going to do is put a jump ring on here. Now, if you have a ring for these that you can use to open them, all the better. But if you don't, you can use pliers or you can use your nails, however you want to do it. Let me grab the ring. Show you what this is. So this is a jump ring, and it's got these slots in it. And basically, you just kind of put it on your finger, and it allows you to twist your jump ring. I swear to God, he's moving into that lower cubby. Doop. So you put it in there, and it'll let you twist it.
See, they cut it off in the ticket.
And
They didn't put in the four.
that's how we open
That's
them.
great.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
We
And
don't-
I was missing a number. I was like, that's not enough numbers.
Don't ever pull
I
them
can't
apart.
call a local
You want to
contact.
twist them open.
All right, great. There's another number for him there.
Okay. So that it twists open like that. And then put your charm on there. Put the charm on. I'm doing this without a magnifier. And then put that into your loop on your paper clip.
Okay, so
And then you just take your
there's
pliers
no
and push
sense
them
in me
back
doing
together.
Anything about it now, except for prepping for dispatch in the morning.
And of course, you can do this reverse with the ring.
Well, we can't reach our equipment.
Just take the ring and put it on
We
there.
can't reach our equipment. That's why I was curious
then-
about if layer one had actually been checked on site.
Push it
rather
back,
than,
and you
hey,
just
the
want it
lights are
to
still on, so everything
Close
must still
back
have
to where it
power.
was.
And
then you have
I
a
can
very
reach our
simple
NNI and log into
little
that,
charm dangle
but I'm not able to reach our
that you can
Uni,
put
the
on a
key
page.
that's on site.
Get a piece of paper
For the
here.
handoff.
Put it on the page.
That is unreachable to me at this point in time.
Okay, so they're pretty easy to do. If you have two pairs of pliers, all the better. Excuse me, but the one round point like this is really the only one that you need. Okay, if you don't have this, if you have like one of these that makes the loop for you and cuts off the end, you can use that if you know how.
Right, because of the hours of access is 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. I mean, I
Really
could call
is
the
not
on-call
another
now
way of
and
doing
dispatch
the
them,
circle.
but Not if it's after 5 o'clock. They've no one there to, let them into the area. Right. So, I mean, at this
So
point,
you just want to come all the way to the
I'll set it
end.
up for a follow-up in the morning with our field tech to go out there and check
Turn.
to see why we can't reach our equipment.
Turn. Until you get that loop. And then do the same thing on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a Smith's that they got sitting there, but yeah, I know it. I'm in Vegas as well. So, all right. We'll get that all set up. Is there anything else I could try to assist you with today on this?
Two loops. Now, if you wanted to use a piece of chain, you could certainly do this with a piece of chain. If you wanted this to be longer. I don't have any chain cut right now. But if you wanted to add a piece of chain on here, you could certainly add a piece of chain. You just use an extra jump ring.
Right.
Raw.
I mean, honestly, this ticket has been with us only an hour as it sits now, so, Yeah. Yeah.
Blind.
Exactly.
I'm blind.
All right. In that case, Mary, anything else I can try to assist you with today, ma'am?
Trying to do this blind. Usually I have a big magnifier on my desk. Because I'm old and my eyes are
My
old.
pleasure. Thank you for you. Yep. Thank you for having Cox. Have a great day now. All right. Bye-bye.
Boop. Put that on there. It won't go on. You guys know why I do these on video. Okay. Charm. Ring. The bezel on this heart is kind of wide, and so I probably need a bigger jump ring, but I don't want a big hole keep it on there. Yay, I got it. So that's 2.
Hi, Miss Christine. Hi, Miss Jamie.
I learn something new all the time. Let's do them a little piece of chain. I think I have some in here. I think I do. Where is my trainer at? Where can it be? Here it is. See, I knew I saw some. All right. So now with a piece of chain, yes, it is. It is a pricey tool, but I'm going to tell you right now, I love it. if you do a lot of jewelry work, that thing is indispensable. Now, I did notice that Temu has one. I have not tried the one from Temu, but it looks exactly the same as this one, which I got at Michael's many years ago. When they first came out with it, before the patent was even made. If I have, I don't know that I have any pins, but if I do have a head pin, I'll show you. Because I gotta tell you, that thing has saved my butt. Y'all seen the rosaries I make? Yes, the Catholic in me can't let them go. Well, I made one years ago for my mom. And somebody saw it and asked if I could make one for them. And I said, sure, I'll make you one. So I made one for them too. And then somebody else, one of the other ladies, my mom lived in a senior's apartment the last couple of years of her life. And one of the other ladies that lives there asked if I could make some for her granddaughters. So, sure, yeah, okay. So by the time it was all said and done, I had made like 10 of them. And my hands were killing me. And I found that, and I was like, oh, I love this thing. All right, so here's our little bat on a chain. So like I said, you could use a chain if you want to, but I would go with a very small, no more than 3/4 of an inch chaining. If you want it to be just a little bit more dangly, you could put like an extra jump ring on it, certainly, and that would help. But it's entirely up to you. All right, let's see. Do I have any? Let me see if I have any head pins or straight pins or anything here. Right, I have some really long pins. So that'll work. Okay, so let me get this out. So it is spring actioned. Yeah, by the time I got to like the 10th rosary, I was like, I really need help here. So this is an eye pin, obviously. It's got the little eye on it. And if I was going to put a bunch of beads on this and I wanted to put the end on it and I wanted it to be looped, this thing, I got to tell you, you put the wire through and there's a little hole in the back that you put the wire through, and then pull this down. Okay. And then all you have to do is squeeze the handle. It cuts the piece off for you, and it makes the eye that you can now take your pliers and put it into place so that my eye looks just like that eye. So it's really easy in that it cuts the wire and everything for you. And it comes in two sizes. This is a 1.5, and I think there's a 2.0. But you basically, and you can get really kind of close in here to your beads. Not getting in the hole. There we go. So like right there, it's just barely in the hole. and it's closed. And then you can use your round pliers to manipulate it and move it around anywhere you want. Let me straighten it up. It's kind of crooked. There we go. But it makes the loop exactly the same. So for me, is it worth it? Yeah, it saves me a lot of work. Because when I'm doing like the rosaries, I am. Let me think. Do I have one? I think I do. Hold on one second. Give me a second. So this is one that I'm actually working on. So on a rosary, you have so many links of chain, and then you have so many beads, and then so many links of chain, and then so many beads. And let me just put this one together real quick, and then this one's not done. So every one of these little beads is on. Do you see how tiny that little piece of? I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can clear it up. Come on, focus. See how each bead is on a piece? So it's one pin that goes through it, and one side is a regular head, and the other side is not. And sometimes when I'm doing this, if I have like pieces left over because I'm using longer pins, I can put a loop on one side, put a bead on, and then put a loop on the other side with this. Bye, Miss Jamie. So, there's a lot of circles that go into this, a lot of looping the pins to make these. And I think this one was actually, this one is actually made by hand looping each pin. So, because this is an older one that I just didn't finish, and I pulled it out and I was like, that's not done. But yeah, lots of beads, lots of chains, and lots of loops. And I usually only make a couple a year now, but I sell them on the regular, so those tend to go away pretty quickly. All right. So do I think it's worth the money? You betcha. I don't know what they're selling for right now, but I am pretty sure that I have actually looked it up and put it on one of my, it's in one of my videos, I think. Let me see. Yeah, and lots of patience, right? I know that they used to carry them. I don't know that they still have them. They do. And they're about $30. This one, this Beadsmith one right here, is $30. Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be the standard. Yeah. Like I said, I saw that they had them on Temu. Let's see. Yeah, they have them on Temu, and you can get them for about $15. That's what they're showing them for. And that's the 1.5 millimeter, which is this one. They also have a 3-pack. How much do they want for the 3-pack? $43.07 for the 3-pack. But yeah, this one is $15 on Temu. Yeah, that's about right. $39 at Michael's. I don't know if Hobby Lobby carries it. Let me see. Hobby Lobby. Blah, blah, blah. Well, they carry Beadsmith products. But I do not see that they carry this. So Amazon or Michael's looks like it's probably going to be. Let me see. Yeah, $40 at Michael's. Walmart has them for $28.99. Fire Mountain Gems for $31. Yeah, $29. Here's one on eBay for $24. So I mean, they are out there. You just, but is it worth the money? Yeah, and that's saying that, you know, when I bought mine, I think it was $22. So even, you know, if I had to replace it, I would still spend $40 to replace it. Absolutely. Also, this particular set of tools is worth it too. If you're doing a lot of beadworking, you know, your hands can get really tired and it hurts. And after a while, and these, because of the way they sit in your hand, so much better. And they have that nice cushion on them. Now, if you're a casual beader and you just bead, you know, occasionally, you know, for like this type of thing where you're making these little dangle charms or something, then I wouldn't recommend it as far as the price. So yeah, it's a good investment if you're making jewelry, or if you're doing a lot of dangle work. I did a dangle a couple of years back. That was it was a journal dangle, but it turned into a charm bracelet. You could take it off. It was a Alice in Wonderland theme, and it had all the charms and stuff, and then it had all the beads, and it was a big, long production to make it. And it hooked onto your journal but you could take it off and it had the bracelet, charm bracelet attachment on it. So you could put it on as a charm bracelet and use the big claw. I had one of those. We had like slightly smaller than this one on there to hook it onto the journal. So you had that on there so you could, and it was at the right point so that you could clip it to keep the bracelet on. The bracelet was heavy as hell. Yeah, for that, because it's got so many beads on it and everything. Yeah, I was a big fan by the end of that, putting it together with these. So much easier to do. All right, so where's my idea book? Where did I put it? Put it down here. All right. So I got plenty of space right here. We're going to put them right here. Well, we'll put one of them right there. Let's do the bat. We'll put the bat here. I'll put the other ones in the no-no box. No, don't do that no more. All right, we'll put the other ones in the no-no box. One. And Pumpkinhead here. I think I might put him with the Dark Macabre Journal. I don't know. He's too cute. So I have these neighbors down the way. And they have started putting up their Halloween decorations. And they play music and they have lights that flash. And they think it's cool. It's not cool. It's us having to listen to the Thriller from 5 o'clock in the evening until 10 or 11 o'clock at night, every single night. I would like to go down and strangle them. So that piece this morning that I had that I threw on the desk and said that would be cool. Yeah, I put them together. It did. It came out pretty cool. It was all right. I love this paper. Yeah, I'm ready to strangle somebody. Then we have the guy. Our neighborhood is so bizarre. There's a park on this end of our street and 2 schools at this end of our street. So it's just one little street and this like little bump. And the people, we live like just past the bump. And the people on either side of us don't put up any decorations at all. The guy across the street in the bump has like 900 blow-ups over there for Christmas, and he even has a giant Tom Turkey he puts out in November. But like 3 doors down, the house just before the end of the street, they always put up like those, those spinny lights that put like witches and stuff on the side of your house. They put those up and they are forever playing that same song over and over and over. The same song. And then the people next to them put up a few things, but they don't take them down. They do not take them down. And every year they theme it different. Last year they did Harry Potter, and in August we were still finding pieces of it floating around the neighborhood. And then of course we decorate, and then nobody on this side decorates. Nobody across the street decorates. There's like 4 houses over there. None of them decorate. None of them give out candy. So the only people that give out candy are like these 2 houses here, us, and the guy across the street. That's pretty much it for our area because they're all old. Everybody who lives here is old. But this guy, house number 4 in, he has kids, and he runs out there on Halloween night and tries to put up decorations. He's out there trying to hang lights and put ghosts in the trees. And we're like, dude, you should have done this like days ago. Oh, irritating. And then his wife comes out and she's got like one margarita too many. Oh my God. And they have 3 kids. They have a girl, they have a teenage boy, and they have a very young boy. And the girl is like a preteen. You know, she's like right at that 11, 12 age. Then they have the young boy, and he's like 3rd or 4th grade. And then they have a teenage boy, which I think is from her first marriage. And he does nothing but torment his little brother. Oh my God. And they have 2 dogs, a big dog and a little yappy dog. And the teenager, he locks those dogs out all day long. So on the weekends, if his parents are working, he locks them out first thing in the morning and they just sit out there and howl all night long, all day. And if there's water and food, there's nothing that the animal control can do about it. And like I said, we live in a neighborhood that's it's all old. Everybody who lives here is old. They're over 50, over 55. Most of them are over 60. And they bought their houses before those schools were even put in. Those were supposed to be housing over there. It was supposed to be housing. Because this whole little subdivision was built and it was supposed to be an HOA. And when the builder originally put the houses in, they realized there was not an elementary school, a public elementary school that was nearby. So they donated 1 block of the land to the city to put a school on in order for them to get permission to do this HOA. Well, they did that. And then they realized that with all the houses that they had and the houses that were going up across the street, across the main street, same builder, that they were not, because these were family homes, they were not going to be able to have enough room in that one school. So they built a second school. They bought the land from him at, what do they call that? When the city buys stuff and they're not supposed to. Eminent domain. So we now have 2 elementary schools, and this is not the only area like that here in Vegas. There's, I can think of 4 elementary schools that are like that, where there's an elementary school and an elementary school, but they then shut off access to this street, and it's open all summer, and it's open after school hours and before school hours, but during school, they close the street off. And it's the end of my street. So for me to get out, I have to go all the way around the school. And I also have to put up with, 2 schools worth of children and their parents. I come home sometimes and find people parked in my driveway. And they feel like it's their right. I've had conversations with them where I've been like, hey, get the hell out of my driveway. And they're like, I have to pick my kid up. I don't care. Get out of my driveway. That's not public parking. That's my private property. Own house, own land. Mine. I'll be back. And they just walk away. And I'm sitting there in the middle of the road in my car going, bitch. We've done this for a few years. And then I'll go over to the school and I'll complain to the school and I'll tell them, look, you need to tell your parents they're not allowed to park on our street. They just can't, because they park at our driveways. They park in front of our driveways. They block access to our homes, either in or out. It's got to stop. You need to tell your parents that they can't do this. Oh, no. They will park And the school will look right at you and go, there's nothing we can do about that. That's public. I have called tow trucks. I actually, about 4 years ago, actually called a tow company and told them that they needed to have a tow truck over here when school gets out every day, because they're going to pick up cars. He's like, well, we can't do that. You would have to have an actual problem, and you have to have an agreement with us. And I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't have to do that. I should be able to just call a freaking tow truck and have you removed. But it's like that all over Vegas. My son-in-law works at the post office. Directly across the street from the post office is this place called High Flying or something like that. It's like a indoor basketball camp thing. And so every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it is jam-packed. And there are signs that say that parking lot is for postal companies, customers only, that they're not supposed to park there. And there's been days when I've gone in there on a Friday at like 3:00, and you can't get in that parking lot. You cannot access the parking lot because it's so jam-packed. And those people aren't in the post office because ain't nobody in the post office. But I've talked to my son-in-law. He's a manager over there. And he goes, well, we've called to get a tow truck out here. But because it's a low priority thing, by the time the police come out and start issuing tickets, the event's closed, or people have moved, or they come out and they say, well, there's no other place for them to park. But they ignore the fact too that they're parked on the street, and the street has no parking signs on both sides of it. They park on both sides of the street, and that street is not big enough for two-way traffic with cars parked in it. So parking is a big issue here. Anything is really an issue here. Vegas doesn't really Las Vegas Metro Police Department does not, under any circumstances, respond to traffic accidents. Unless there's an indication that one of the drivers may be intoxicated or somebody dies. Just a regular traffic accident, they're not coming out. If you call them and tell them that your car has been broken into, they will tell you to come down to the police department and write a report on it. If somebody breaks into your house and you come home and you go, hey, I got robbed, they go, oh, well, it's probably not worth us coming out because, we're not going to be able to get any fingerprints because, people come over to your house all the time. So there's nobody in there, right? No, they robbed it and ran away. We've been on vacation for a couple of days. Just got home and found out the place has been robbed. Oh, well, come on down to the police department, and your local police department, and you can put in a report. They won't come out for that stuff. The only thing Metro PD does is patrols the strip, which isn't even in their jurisdiction. And responds to businesses. That's it. I've never in my life lived in a place like we had. God, this was a while ago. It was before my mom passed away. So probably about 15 years ago. And I lived over on the other side of town. And my ex-husband was over. I don't remember what we were doing. But my father-in-law had passed away. And it was the anniversary of his death. And my ex-husband was feeling kind of low. So, and his wife, his girlfriend at the time, she had to work. So he was going to be all alone. And I had the boys at my house. They said, well, come on over. We'll set up the karaoke machine. We'll have a couple of drinks. We'll play. He was like, okay. So he came over and me and him and the boys and Mike and Cassie and Mikey and my mom set up my karaoke machine, and I have a professional build up. So we set up the whole system, and it was a Friday, Saturday night. We were inside, so I didn't give a crap. And we did karaoke all night. And at about 4:00 in the morning, he goes to leave, about 4:30 or so. And he comes back and he goes, "You're not going to believe this." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Somebody broke into the truck." Now, this was his dad's truck. I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, somebody broke into the truck." So we go down there, and then I started knocking on my neighbor's doors, because every car that was parked along the back wall at the end of the street had been broken into. And you knew it wasn't like somebody actually looking for anything, because there was a cup of change. He had like a big gulp cup of change sitting in his console. They didn't take it. They stole the front plate from his stereo. One of the cars, they had gone in and taken their CD case out, and they found the CDs on a different car. Like somebody had pulled them all out of the CD case just to see what they were.
Apparently they didn't like the music.
Apparently they didn't like the music because they left them. But there was like 5 or 6 cars back there that had their windows busted in, and we hadn't touched the cars. And so we called the police, and the police said, "Well, there's no way we can come out and fingerprint them because, people touch cars. And we're really not going to, if anybody has pictures or, cameras or anything, then, maybe we can come out and take a look at those. But most likely just bring it down to the police station and make a report." Now, the thing with that is that you can't make an insurance claim on your vehicle without a police report. So you have to go down and make the police report. And they know it. So they're not going to come out. And we live in right now in the area that we live in, the main road that runs behind my house here, and it's actually about like an eighth of a mile from where I live to that. There's like three streets. But Mike and I can sit here at night and we can listen to them racing on that street. And we've heard accidents and donuts and just burnouts. We've heard them hit things, other cars, bus stops, all kinds of stuff. And the actual police substation is a mile down the road. Over here, 1 mile from this street. And you will not find a cop patrolling that street at night. And when I used to DoorDash, there would be days that because I DoorDash in my own area, there would be days that I would come around a corner to come out of one of these little housing areas. And on the wrong side of the street is some jerk off doing donuts. And I'd call the cops. I'd get the license plate, make, model of the car and everything. And they'd go, "Nothing we can do about that. We didn't see it happen." So unless you commit a crime directly in front of Las Vegas police, don't worry about getting arrested here, because it's never going to happen. And when they do need money, what they do is they come out with motorcycle cops and they sit on an intersection, and the last car through every left-hand turn gets a ticket, no matter what. Every car. You could be the only car, and they're still going to ticket you for making an illegal left-hand turn. Then you go down to the courthouse, and you go, "It was a green arrow, and I was the only car." Well, we're prepared to offer you parking in a handicap, which doesn't put any points on your ticket, on your license, but it's $150 fine. But I didn't do anything. Well, can you prove that the light was green? How am I supposed to prove the light was green?
Video.
Would you have a dash cam? No, but neither do they. Well, he's saying that the light was red. Yeah, maybe in his direction, but not in my direction, because I was making a left-hand turn this way and he's sitting over here. Maybe to him it looked red, but mine was green. Nothing you can do about it. It's how they make their money. And you'll go down, and there'll be 100 people standing in that hallway, and they have a freaking table set up, and the district attorney's down there, the prosecutor's down there, and he's going, okay, so what we're going to do is offer you a deal. It's $150 for parking in a handicap zone. I have handicap plates on my car. That's what we're going to give you. It's a deal, $150. Or you could pay the ticket for making an illegal left, which puts 3 points on your license, and it's a $600 fine. Yeah, so Vegas is yeah. Do you want to come here and drive like an idiot? Please do so, because you're not going to get in trouble here. Stop signs are not even a suggestion. They're just pretty red signs. Stop lights don't mean a whole hell. I have seen somebody pull up to a red light, and there'll be a cop right there getting ready to go this way, because this light just turned, and they'll go, because there's like a turn, because they're doing the turn lane thing and there's nobody turning. So they'll go screw it, and they'll just pull over like this, get in that lane, and then go that way. So they like hook the intersection, and the cops won't do anything. Like, are you kidding me?
This is Mike, Cox Business Support.
Are you kidding me? If I did stuff like that when I was a kid, because I'm telling you right now, if I did it today, I'd get arrested. They'd be like arresting my butt. They'd be like, nope, no, you come with us, you're going to jail.
I got a ticket come across my desk here.
But yeah,
Looks
that's
like you guys are
the way
using our
Vegas
ticket
is.
Number for reference.
It's the way
All right,
Vegas is.
I got 31400750.
I called one time.
Yep.
We
That's
lived
the
at a
one.
place after my mom, right after
All
my
right,
mom passed
looks
away.
like,
We lived there for about a year.
the low light issue.
Um,
They got good light now. They did
because we were planning on moving in with my mom, so I had sold my house, and then my mom died, and then we didn't need the place that we were moving into, because it was way too big, because it was like, it was a house, but it had a separate entrance, and it had like a separate living room, like a casita, but in the house, kind of. Like she had a bathroom, a bedroom, and her own living room. She shared the kitchen.
Well,
And there was a separate driveway on the side, so she could pull her car in, and she could go in and out of her own door as she chose. Well, we didn't need that house anymore, so we decided not to move into it. So we said, all right, well, we got to find something. So we took a lease on a house that worked for us as far as area, ease of access, because it was literally, we were like 150 feet from the freeway on-ramp and from the off-ramp. So Mike would drive like 150 feet, get on, go 3 exits, get off, go to work, get back on, go 3 exits, get off, come home. It was that convenient for us at the time. Okay. Well, one night, these 2 jackwads, both under 21, had been at a party and got pounded drunk. He comes around the corner. We didn't even hear the accident, but we did hear him knocking on our front door. And we opened up the front door, and there's this drunk kid standing there, like 19, 20-year-old kid. And he goes, I think I hit your car. My daughter's Dodge was sitting in front of my house, and in front of her Dodge was my camper. They hit her Dodge so hard that my camper went about 300 feet down the road. And they hit it so hard that they actually, even though it was locked, they popped the back. It was a Dodge Durango. Her baby's car seats came out from the back seat, and then it slammed back down. The whole front of his car was gone. His front wheels were out, and his engine was sitting on the ground. And his buddy woke up and went, "What happened?"
Also, keep in mind on that trailer, the front hitch didn't have a wheel down.
Yeah, no
It had
wheel.
a straight post.
To this day, there's still a gash in the road where the post hit the asphalt and tore it up. So we called the police. They went, "What's the address?" And I gave them the address, and they went, "Well, that's not in the city. It's literally in the center of Las Vegas, but it's not the city. It's unincorporated Clark County, which is why they don't really have jurisdiction on the Strip. That's a whole nother discussion. But so they had to send, instead of sending Las Vegas Metro PD and the Las Vegas Fire Department, they sent out the marshals, the sheriff. The sheriff came out. And once the sheriff came out and saw the accident, and he deemed that there was no, they called in the fire department to come out and hose the engine to make sure that it didn't catch fire. That car sat there for 3 days while they decided whose job it was to have it towed. But the kid that hit me, that was face drunk. Wow, drunk. And his buddy, most of them toasted, underage. He didn't get a ticket. My daughter got like $3,500 for her Durango. I got like $1,500 for my camper. Her Durango was totaled. My camper was totaled. His car was totaled. We couldn't go after his, because he had like bare minimum insurance. We couldn't go after his even though the car belonged to his parents and his parents let him drive it and he was drunk. We couldn't go after his parents. We couldn't go after him above and beyond the insurance, even though she had 3 car seats that were totaled. 3 car seats totaled. That's almost $600 right there. But they didn't pay for that. They didn't pay for anything that was in the vehicle that was damaged. And Metro didn't even arrest him. Police didn't even arrest him. You can come to Vegas and get away with just about anything. Just about anything. And I've never lived in a place like that. I've always lived in a place where, like, if you did something stupid and the police got called, somebody was going to jail. Somebody's going to jail. Now, here, to be honest with you, if something actually happened, the police here in Vegas would probably be the last thing I would call. They would be the last people I would call for help. All right. Enough bitching about Vegas. So, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You just need to turn 2 circles. Did I lose it? There it is. Just learn, you need to lose that. You just need to turn 2 circles on both of the straight parts. Just turn those into loops. Add your jump ring to it, and then you can put a charm on it, or if you want, you can add a bit of chain and another jump ring, and you can make it like a dingly. Dingly, dingly. Dingly, 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 dingly. Okay, that's it for today. Boy, I complained today, didn't I? I remember calling him one time because when I worked at Savers, I had a 45 come in one of the donation bins. And they told me to bring it to the police station.
That's what you want to do. Walk into a police station with a gun.
Yeah.
That you don't own. It's like,
Nope. Nobody, nope.
No.
I said, okay. I walked in. It was in 5 pieces. The sergeant at the desk looked at me and he said, was that the way you found it? No. But I brought it in here in a clear Ziploc bag in 5 pieces because I didn't want you thinking I was bringing a gun into a police department.
Right.
Oh.
I am not your normal dumb human being.
Oh my God. I was like, okay, well, we'll just field strip this. Pop that. Okay, here we go. All right, we have 5 pieces. Okay, that doesn't look benign enough. Let me put some zip ties through this barrel and through the trigger mechanism. I did. I put it in a big sealed Ziploc bag. Took it down. I have to turn this in. And they went, is it yours? And I went, no. And I told them, I said, I'm the manager, I'm the manager at the Savers. This came in a donation. We have no idea of tracking where it came from. So I called and they said I should bring it in. And so I am bringing it in. And they were like, and this is the way you found it? And I was like, no, I did that. So you don't think I'm walking into your police lobby here carrying a handgun. No. Or, in my purse. What was I going to do with it? So, all right, tomorrow I will be here in the morning, but I will not be here in the afternoon because tomorrow we're going to pass out candy to all rotten little kids in my neighborhood. There are no little kids in my neighborhood, but they come in, from the surrounding area. Those 3 kids I got down the street are the only ones that live in any house in this area. So no craft with me tomorrow night. We're going to be doing our regular warning for the floofy pink, which is terrifying enough for Halloween. So we're doing that. Tomorrow's the last day to post your pictures for the hot glue and foil for the Projects of 25 challenge. And on Saturday, I will announce the new challenge for the month of November. And November is really busy, guys. We got a lot of stuff going on in November because that's when the boxes come out. The first one is going to be the Washi Caddy. Then we're going to have a box that's designed for Twix bars. And then I got one for Hershey's Kisses. And I've got one for chocolate nuggets. And then I have one for Ghirardelli squares. I stayed with Hershey's mostly, Well, Twix is technically Mars. But you get the idea. So we've got those. And those run all the way into December, every other Tuesday. There's going to be some back to basics. I'm doing some back to basics stuff. And when I say back to basics, I mean things like the first back to basics project is going to be library pockets, basic library pockets, all the basic stuff. So we're doing all the basics. It's going to be a whole new series that we're going to be starting for the new year coming in. The 31st, we do have our New Year's Bash. That's going to be me and Carla, and I think Rose is going to be there, and I'm not sure who else, but we're going to be doing some weirdness because we do every year. I'm going to be giving out some prizes for New Year's. Always do that. The whole month of December is going to be this Terry's Crafty Christmas 25. And my video doesn't post till the 23rd, so I have like a whole lot of time to do it. But I'm already starting to see some of those people coming in and subscribing to the channel, which I think is really cool, and I really like that. And I've gone in and I've subscribed to quite a few of these. There's going to be some prizes in this. I don't have the exact details, but there's going to be some prizes. And there's going to be 43 participants in this collaboration. So there's going to be lots of videos for you guys to see. And we are posting into March. It's April, March. So we're posting into March. I have some stuff started in here. So we'll be getting that stuff done. So we have a full schedule for January, full schedule for February. And if you guys want them, let me know. If you want some kind of possible, like a little candy thing for the grandkids to give out to their friends at school, if they, because I know some schools don't do that anymore. Some do, some don't. Some allow it in the last 10 minutes of class. But if you want something like that, let me know, because I have to get it in January somewhere, and fit it in here. A project that can be done. But yeah, we're gonna a lot of back to basic type stuff we're gonna be doing this year. So that's it. That's it. That's all I got. The schedule has been updated, and it shows everything through February, through the end of February. So if you would like a copy of this, you can get that either on the YouTube channel or over on the Facebook group. I will be back on Friday for Saturday for Mixed Media as always. So here's what we got. If you're new here and you have not offended you yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hang around for a while. You never know. You might like something. I'm not always negative. What else? If you want a copy of my schedule, upcoming videos, tutorials, free classes, all that kind of stuff, you can do that by getting going to my Facebook group or in the post section or the community section or whatever they're calling it now on YouTube. And if you'd like to cyber stalk me, just go down to the description and click more. It's going to tell you my Instagram, my LinkedIn, my
Hey, Julie, this is Mike with Cox Business.
email address. It's all down there. You can cyber stalk me, seriously.
Oh, glad you answered.
But that's it. That's all I got.
Talk to you for a quick second about this ticket about the no phone service over at the Tri-City Medical Center.
But that's it. That's all I have. Until I see you again, stay well, my
There
friends.
is an outage that's been declared
Bye.
about 9:30 this evening. So I wouldn't be able to set up for a technician